Hi everyone, it's me, Arielle, and it's Wednesday Warriors. And today I'm going to be talking a lot about eating with other people versus eating alone, what is quote-unquote normal, and just different feelings about that. I'm going to be speaking from my own personal experiences in the past, as well as just things that I've learned from other people. The exact question is this rare, or does anyone else find that eating with others can be easier than eating alone? So I'm going to tell you my personal experience and also talk a little bit more about it. I used to have what I called a food buddy, and it was actually my best friend and roommate when I was in college. And eating with large groups of people, or larger groups of people, didn't really wasn't something that I really liked to do. It gave me a lot of anxiety a lot of the time, but I found that if I could eat with one person or two people, it was easier definitely than eating by myself. So you're certainly not crazy for thinking that way. You're definitely not alone. I would be able to better eat the proper amount with my food buddy, my friend. I think you have to do whatever works for you. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to what other people do, what they find easy, what they find difficult. If it works for you, do it. Eating with somebody else really helped me because even though I couldn't quite get to the point that I wanted to get to, I was always recovery oriented. I always wanted to be rid of the eating disorder. I always wanted to be better than I was. It was very, very difficult, and I didn't always put my full effort into it, but since I was reaching for recovery, eating with another person helped me because I knew that even if I didn't eat all day and I was going to eat dinner with Sarah, then I was still going to eat a full meal, and she was going to be there like my buddy doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing, and that was easier, and it was a kind of motivation. I wouldn't say that eating with other people and finding it easier than eating by yourself is rare. I think that for a lot of people, a certain amount of nervousness and anxiety and fear does go along with eating with other people, but it's not always the case, and certainly I think that fear comes more from anticipating the action of eating with other people than from actually eating with other people. For example, people are just so consumed with fear and anxiety thinking about eating with other people that they won't ever actually bring themselves to do it. They're too afraid of it. But for the people that actually go out there and do go eat with other people, it might be a little bit, nerve-wracking, might make them a little bit anxious, but after the fact, it really wasn't as bad as they had built it up to be. So I think if you actually are doing it, those sorts of people don't think that it is something that is a hindrance. I also think that a lot depends on the people that you're eating with. For example, if those people are ones that you really trust, then you're more likely to do better eating with them than eating by yourself. But if the people that you're thinking about eating with are just peers but not very close friends, or they're people that you constantly compare yourself to body-wise, or if they are family members or relatives that make you feel bad about yourself, things like that, that's all going to play a part as far as making you feel comfortable or uncomfortable eating with other people. A lot of it depends on the actual people. The other part of eating with other people and why people are typically anxious with that has to do, I think, with how much they trust themselves and what kind of day they're having at that particular point. If somebody really hates themselves and they are not having a good day and they don't trust themselves, then it stands to reason that they would do better eating with somebody else than just, holed up by themselves in their own room or own apartment or own home. You're probably, depending on what stage you are at in your recovery, more likely to go without eating if you're just left to your own devices. Eating with other people is a lot like having an extra push to do the right thing. At least that's where I was coming from when I would choose to eat with other people. I guess the real point in answer to this person's question is it doesn't really matter how rare it is that people find it easier to eat with other people or not. That's not really the point. The point is, if it works, do it. If it doesn't work, then don't do it. But if the reason that you aren't eating with other people is because you are just afraid of what they're going to be thinking of you, if you're just afraid of the actual situation but you've never tried it, I would say try it. Because a lot of times with things that have no relation to eating disorders, the anticipation of a certain event or a certain moment is a lot scarier than the actual event or moment itself. And I just think that that is something that you need to remember when you're thinking about this particular situation. One of the reasons that I chose to respond to this question today is because it's a really simple question, and it doesn't take very long to answer the specifics of this question, but I wanted to sort of use this video as a way to pitch the idea to try out eating with people that you do really trust. I wouldn't just say go out into a big restaurant or cafeteria or a dining hall and, sit with people that are mere acquaintances and try this, because I know that that can hold a lot of scariness. But basically, if you can give this a try, it can be a really unique tool, because you have someone saying, come on, let's go. Sort of like people have gym buddies. You know what I mean? I mean, now, obviously, I'm talking about if you are not an over-exerciser, but in the way that people have someone that they work out with for motivation, it's the same sort of scenario. You have a food buddy, you have someone that can help you and be there for you and say, come on, let's go get dinner, let's go get lunch. Or what I used to do when I was in college and I lived with my friend Sarah, we would usually try to eat in our apartment because it was just easier, cheaper, and healthier than, getting fast food all the time or going to the dining hall. And, we didn't have a dining plan for a couple of years because we did live in an apartment and not a dorm. And what we did was we took turns making dinner different nights of the week. So, if it was my turn, I know that I'd be making it, but we'd be eating it together at a certain time. And we just sort of planned dinner around when we had classes, around our schedules. And we knew that we would always be sitting there at the end of the day eating dinner together. I mean, it doesn't have to be something like what you hear about in books or movies, where a parent or a friend is watching you like a hawk while you're eating to make sure you are eating enough because they know about your eating disorder. She knew very, very well about my eating disorder, about my history, about my current status at that point, about how much I needed to eat, about how low my weight was, everything. She knew everything. But she did not sit there and watch me like a hawk out of the corner of her eye. She didn't sit right across from me and stare at me while we were eating. I mean, you can eat dinner with a friend, with a food buddy, and have that active eating be happening, and try to make sure when you put food on your plate that you're taking enough to be a healthy amount. But you can watch a movie while you eat dinner. You sit on the couch. You're not staring at each other. It's just the act of eating together, the presence of another person motivating you, saying, I'm here with you while you're doing this thing that I know is a chore for you, or I know is very difficult for you. And it's a testament to a friendship, first of all, but you don't have to think of it as this huge gift that somebody is giving you. I mean, they need to eat dinner too, and sure, you can have company and watch a movie together. I mean, you can watch a favorite TV show. You can do your homework. I mean, you don't have to be sitting across from each other in a restaurant or something just to have a food buddy and have this work. So you have to keep in mind that you can make this work. If you are so afraid of it that you're not going to try it, that's on you, because even though it's scary, it can work. It definitely has its benefits. You do have to find sort of the right person to be your food buddy, but I think that it helped me a lot for sure. I really don't know where I would be if she wasn't around helping me at that point. I mean, I don't know where I would have ended up. I would have definitely needed much more treatment than I was getting at that point. And I just really credit the whole system of making dinner and eating dinner together on a regular, frequent basis with helping me very, very much through my recovery, even when I was doing very poorly. So I definitely think that it's a good thing to try. It's at least an idea to keep in your head if you're not ready for it at this point in your recovery or in your life. And I wish you all the best of luck with it.